Hello everyone, my name is Naval Dermana Swanto. Today I'm going to tell you about the 10 stories about in my point of view. So let's get started. For the first story, it's a day on campus. It was just past 7 in the morning when I revved up my motorcycle and started my journey from Sidoarjo to Surabaya. The road was quiet at first, but eventually the crowd started. After an hour, I reached the entrance of my university campus in Untak, Surabaya. I parked my bike in the parking lot, took a moment to stretch. The air was crisp with the scent of morning dew. A gentle breeze rustled the leaf of the tall trees lining my pathway. Students were already bursting about, some with hands on handphone, the others walking in a group, deep in conversation together. I unstrapped my backpack and took a deep breath, initiating the comforting sense of coffee waving off my nearby heels. As I walked toward to the Faculty of Cultural Sciences, and I passed the familiar landmark, the icon of Untak Surabaya is the Rectorate Building, and the long stretched student center wall covered colorful posters for upcoming events. My first class of the day is aesthetics scheduled at 8 a.m. I climbed upstairs to the sixth floor because the elevator was full. The classroom was already half full when I arrived, and I closed my usual seat near the window sunlight to see the Surabaya view. I pulled out my notebook and pens, arranging them neatly as our lecturer, in a middle-aged man with a bald head and his white tee, thoughtful analysis hold in the usual brief and the pen. The next 90 minutes passed in a mix of noting on social and class discussion with my friends and intense listening to the lecturer. After class, me and my friend, which name is Rama, packed all our things and walked now in a hall in the in the Q building. Rama said the last part about the Carl Jung's theory of unconscious thing is the most interesting thing that Rama interests. Rama said that he likes the Carl Jung's theory. The bird was crawled in the middle of schedule, literally frosting and colorful. Only makes the weekend. By the time we stepped out of the building, the sun was high. The campus was full swing. We have 2 hour break before the next class. As we approached, the sound of chatter, clinking plates, and background music get louder. We found a spot at near window and sat down, quickly joined a few other friends from our literature program. The conversation flowed easily, moving from class discuss to weekend plans, favorite Netflix series, and the latest on campus gossip. Halfway through lunch, I noticed a group of students sitting up next sitting at the table near the door. We are going to discuss about the next Friday events. First, I will over after finishing my meal and chatted with one the organizer. Her passion of literature was continuous, and before I knew it, I had signed up to join the club and the first meeting. Time flew quickly, and I started my motorcycle again to going home to my house. This is the first story of my point of view, and the next story is about the intelligent story. It was a quiet Wednesday morning when I stepped into campus. My laptop bag slung over shoulder and stack index card clutched tiny in my head. The air was still cool and the whisper morning dew, and the sky was painted pale blue with a streak of gold. Today is my presentation of my research program. So the topic was the young adult literature novel with the title Jenna Chan's Finding Self-Identity. As I walked toward the Faculty of Cultural Sciences, the students in group discuss assignment, handphone, book, heads, and people have danced across walkway to somewhere nearby. A student research from play. I reached room I-170P with 10 minutes to spare. The classroom was slowly filling up. Some classmates glanced at me. They were wondering why I was there so early. Our lecturer, Mrs. Tree, at her desk, the window sleeping from the ceramic, and hurry up me that you're up today? She asked. Yes, I replied, trying to keep my voice steady, ready as it I'll ever be. Good, I'm looking forward to. The young adult novel is often underestimated. Show them why it matters. And then I start the discussion at 9 o'clock. So already everyone, as you know at the beginning, the series student presentation this week today I'll be in the definition about my research program, the self-identity in a young literature novel. I am not Jessica Chan. Stepping over from the room, 30 faces turned for me. The hum, the sailing fan suddenly seemed louder, and for a second I could feel every heartbeat echo in my ears. So this is for the photo. Okay, as you can see, there are a lot of students watching up me to presentation, and then the next few slides I present about my research. There are no questions inside, just the Mrs. Tree asked me about the knowledge about the story. She asked me about the plot, the conflict of the story, and I could understand what she mean, and she knows what I wanted to say about the story. Okay, this is my second story. Moving up to the third story. It's about the get lost story. For your information, I barely get lost, but somehow I got lost in the Surabaya city. So the morning in the Sidoarjo that I lost my mind, lost my control to see where am I going. It was still dark and we woke up in Sidoarjo early morning, 5:30. I had set multiple alarms in case that after overslept. I should dress and double check my bag, my student ID, notebook, pens, and anything else before I left my mother and nothing for a breakfast. I took an early commuter from Sidoarjo. My earphone playing calming music to help even near the train was very full. I had googled the route the night before, remembered that reading Gubeng situation in the major town is Surabaya. Surely Gubeng it won't be far to Untak Surabaya. I had thought that ignored the advice friend who said stop at Wonokromo or Ngagel, thinking I knew better. When the train arrived at Gubeng station, I confidently got off. The air warm, the situation, the straight busy right phone, opening Google Maps and Type Untak Surabaya. There is Margaret only 20 minutes by when it said. I started walking, to my first. So this is for the photo, okay, that I was in Kupang. So I stopped walking, stood under trees, waiting my breathing. My shirt caught up my back from the heat. I tried to represent the map, but my phone signal was weak. The blue dot kept jumping on me. I tried asking someone, a kind man in the 50s was sweeping in the front of the shop, and he said that he was offering me the hotspot because my signal is weak and I can not order a Gojek. So, and then I pull off my phone, open up the Gojek application, and starting ordering the Gojek from Kupang into Untak. Despite that I arrived just in time, orientation hadn't started yet. I joined a group but used to other students who never sitting nearly under the tree in the semester waiting. So and then I came back home from Untak with the Gojek application and stopped in the Ngagel to access the train again. That night, background essential, I left my parents replaying the whole day in my head. I was just exhausted, sunburned, slightly embarrassed, but also felt proud that I had gotten lost yet, but I had also found my way. From that day, I never again underestimated the power of preparation. Though I checked my maps, I asked more questions, I paid closer attention to sign and direction. Moving up to the next story is the unexpected situation. I never expected that the regularity of my hotel journey would turn into something I would remember the rest of my life. I met the One Falls. That day I was scheduled to assist the concierge team in the lobby area where the person placed to the hotel. I clocked in, received my assignment from my supervisor, and took the place near the concierge desk. My job was to greet guests, help their luggage, and assist anyone need the direction transformation information. But in 10:30, I noticed something unusual that I saw my favorite musician from Indonesia. His name is Iwan Fals. I froze for a second. Wait, Iwan Fals? The Iwan Fals, the legendary Indonesian singer whose music and shaped generation, the man behind the song like Bento, Ibu, and Omar Bakri. The voice of people. I felt strange, Jill, controlling what he could really true. Is he coming here to the hotel today? Kept my face composed, tried to carry on just this, but I couldn't help glancing toward around 11:15. The doors opened again, and I walked. Man, he wasn't surrounded by bodyguards or assistants. He wasn't dressed anything flashy. In fact, he looked incredibly ordinary: jeans, simple dark shirt, sunglasses, and a cap. But it's enough because he is in one pulse. And then I started to help him to get his direction into the mini market. Later that day, I passed the hotel function room area with the private event was being prepared. I didn't have access, but heard from our staff member that he would be performing small acoustic. Finished my shift, changed my bag into regular clothes, and stepped the warm Surabaya evening. That I sat at home and listened to music again, and I thought about that brief moment had taught me not just about fame but about humanity. From that day, every time I passed a spot in the lobby where I saw him, I smiled to my face. It was just a moment, no words, no photo, no conversation, but I'll be remembered forever. Moving up to the next story is about my love story in love with basketball. This is for the photo when I played basketball. I often wonder my life would look like without basketball. The very idea feels like imagine the world without sun. Basketball isn't just a sport to me, it's a part of my identity, stitched into fabric of my being like muscle and bone. I didn't choose it, it chose me. Or maybe we found each other. All I know is that once orange ball touched my hand, nothing was ever the same again. My love in basketball started in 2016 when I liked the one girl who played that game and I started to learn the game. But suddenly I being fell in love with the basketball, not because girls, because the game. I love the pace, I love the player, I love the way they score points, fouling each other, keep the physical play, and everything about basketball. I love it since that day. By the time I reached my middle school, I was spending more time in the basketball court than anywhere else. It had become my home, my crutch, my therapy, wherever life felt overwhelming, when homework piled up, when friendship gets messy, when I felt lost, I turned to the court to play basketball. I joined the school team in 7th grade. At tryouts, I wasn't the tallest, I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the fastest, but I was the most work hard player in the team. He picked me. The coach picked me not for my size, but for my work ethic. Playing the school team was a dream. We wore matching jersey, traveled tournament, and even had small crowds. I remember the nervous excitement before my first official game. My heart pounded like a drum as I stepped into the court. I played the shooting guard. It was the perfect position for me, just spot scoring, just seeing the game like a shooter, like you're the killer. I love sitting in the corner, just wait my team to pass me the ball and shoot the ball. And I'm moving on to the high school basketball with different piece. There are so many great players there that play alongside me or being my opponent in that time. My team made me to a regional semifinal in my sophomore year. I'll never forget the game. The crowd was hype. Everyone sees our game that day. Our teacher, my friend, my crush, or I hit a 3-point winner and stole the ball the next position and assisted the winning basket. The buzzers around and the crowd entered. I remember raising my arms, looking up the light and feeling tears in my eyes. Of course, there were losers too. We are not the strongest team ever. And in the next tournament, we were lost in the semifinals. The moment that I remember is in my senior year that I win the track 3 game. Actually, it's a track 3 tournament game open for anybody else, and we reached the final against the college student, and eventually we are win by them, even though it's not the longest. The longest. It is one of my longest game ever. We played a double overtime and scored maybe 10 points in that game to secure the win. But the more I played, the more I realized basketball wasn't just about score. It was about the community and it became a family to celebrate and push each other to improve. basketball also opened its doors. I was invited to a basketball camp in the summer before senior year. One of my friends also selected in Porprov Jawa Timur. Even though I'm not being selected in that team, I also proud about my friends because he deserves to be there. But when it came to college, it's suddenly hits different because that team it don't fit to me. Their schedule, their habits, their behavior. It's not supporting me as the team player. They will like that basketball is just sports that we have to win, and win. We have to hang out every single practice. We don't care about the practice actually. What is the work hard? What is the work ethic? They don't really care. All they care is play it, win, and just being hanging out, not in basketball, but in outside basketball. So I started to realize that my basketball journey in college is over, and basketball has taught me more than any textbook ever could. It taught me about discipline, how waking up early and staying late made love. It taught me about leadership, how it lives to other up, how to take responsibility, how to listen. Taught me a lot. It taught me how to accept the lose, win, and trying to not be underestimate each other because true love never dies. It just evolves, and my love for basketball it grows stronger with every shot, every step, and every story. Moving up to the next story is about don't judge a book by its cover. For the context, I have a friend. His name is Fade Lee, and he looks like this. He's a tall skin with the tan skin. Even though he's small and not really a good looking guy, he was one of the strongest person I ever seen in my life. That day I went to a gym and suddenly he showed up and told to me that are you coming too? I said yes. Make some lift to make myself feel better. But in my opinion that he looks so skin and I think he's new here and cannot lift that many weights as same as me, even though I'm the new one too. But suddenly when he showed up and starting doing the exercise, he amazed me that he could do the bench press for 25 kilogram. The opposite of mine, I only can get 5 kilograms. And moving up to the lat pull down, he could do 20 kilogram of weight for the 3 times in a row. Me, that underestimate him, I can only do 15 for just 2 times, and it also hit me so hard that he was more strong than me. Stronger. I think he's a 10 times stronger, but he was so low key and not really showed up his skills. And that's why I started to miss about him. Moving up to the next story is about illusion versus reality. This is actually my heartbreaking story. The illusion is I like the girl that the name Permata. I think she's one of my sweet scar story. I don't remember exact moment I fell in love with her. Maybe it was the day I laughed at my dumb joke in class. Her eyes crying in the corner. Maybe it was the afternoon we got in the train and danced like a child while I tried to shoot my phone. Permata is really beautiful. He's not really that tall, but he got the nice eyes, nice nose, and he got the good body shape for girls. We met during the first semester. Both of us were new and sharing campus layout, still figuring out where the library or which one is canteen. As the month passed, we got closer. We had in the same group project, started hanging out between class and later after class too. We study together, play together, go home, and go into the campus together. Like the time we were sitting on the campus rooftop watching the sunset, she raised her hand on my shoulder and said, "You always make me feel safe." Or the time she baked cookies for me on my birthday and said, "I don't do this for just anyone." They were small things that made me fall in love with her. But after a few weeks, things changed between us. She turned off me, ignoring me, and started spending time not with me. I see her on the campus sometimes, group friends, something alone. Yes, I thought I was her special boy, but I'm not really a special boy. I'm just a regular boy who just can hang out every day with her. Now when I sit under the same chair on the campus, I still remember the moment shared with her. I don't erase them. I don't pretend to things mean something. They did, but they meant something different. Some stories are beautiful because they remind us of what it means to feel deeply, even if those feelings aren't returned. Some stories exist to teach us the line between illusion and reality, and the mind was one of them. And this is the photo of Permata. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Thank you for listening to my story. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.